Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. It's your boy Phil. So today, this is episode 6 of my series Day of Dining, where I'm gonna be preparing 2 versions of corned beef, wet corned beef and dry corned beef. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start the video. Hope you're having a great day, everyone. So this is episode 6 of my series Day of Dining, where I'm gonna be preparing, cooking, and eating 2 versions of corned beef. Corned beef with a little bit of soup or moisture or wet corned beef, and dry or stir-fried corned beef. So after washing and cutting the potatoes into cubes to be fried later, let's get to the onions. You can cut the onions into cubes or in slices, but in this case, I'm cutting them into slices. And as we all know, you're gonna shed a few tears while you're cutting some onions. You can put your potatoes to be boiled while the corned beef is cooking, but for me, I prefer to brown them and make them crispy before I put them on my corned beef. And to brown them, just add your oil, heat it up for less than 5 minutes, and add your potatoes. So it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to brown them up according to your liking. And you can just stir them frequently so that one side would not be burned. Plus, this also ensures that most sides will be brown and crispy. And for me, I want them to have an extra toasted and extra crispy exterior. So, after about 10 minutes, your potatoes are golden brown and ready, and you can put them to the side. So, after straining the excess oil, we can now proceed to adding some garlic and caramelizing and sauteing our onions. So, just toast your garlic according to your liking and add your red onions. You can saute your onions in medium heat and making sure that you move them around the pan. So I'm adding a little more oil and we can continue with the sauteing process. And this is the result after continuous stir-frying, sauteed caramelized onions. And now, let's add the corned beef. Corned beef is a very common breakfast item in the Philippines, and here, I'm gonna be cooking corned beef with a little bit more soup or water, making it a wet version of corned beef. So after adding your corned beef and breaking up the clumps while stirring, just make sure that you apply continuous stirring for all of the meat to cook evenly through the pan. So after stirring and adding some water for about 10 minutes, and I also added some pepper to give it a more fragrant flavor. And finally, I added some fish sauce to give it that salty umami flavor. And I added a little bit more water to give it more soup. So after letting it simmer for another 5 minutes, you can add the fried potatoes back into this corned beef. More mixing around the pot, and this is the result: wet corned beef. So let's sample this meal. And as you can see, this is the type of corned beef that is moist because it has a lot more water in it, and is perfect for breakfast items with fried rice and an egg. So I use these bottles for my own vinegar and hot sauce combinations that I make myself whenever I'm eating. First bite, you can taste that corned beef flavor of beef and umami with a little bit of soup, and those caramelized onions give it that flavor that pairs up with the beef really well. Add this corned beef with some fried rice and egg, and you have a complete breakfast. Especially since this corned beef is soupy, then it's a complement to the slightly dry fried rice, which is how I like it. And vinegar provides that sour contrast to that salty beef umami. A little bit of vinegar and a little bit of hot sauce provides that kick necessary for this meal. So in this bite, I think I added too much Carolina Reaper and Scotch bonnet sauce. That's why I'm really sweating and it feels really hot. And a few more spoonfuls to finish this plate. Next, let's go to the dry version of corned beef. After adding some oil and garlic, I just proceeded to cook the corned beef and continuously stir frying it until it lost most of its moisture. And the result, corned beef that is crispy, toasted, and has a more concentrated flavor because they lost most of its moisture. So it is time to eat again. And as you can see, it appears to be dry, and first things first, it was delicious. I wasn't expecting the burnt, crispy, toasted ends of the corned beef to pack so much flavor. And from now on, I think I'm gonna cook my corned beef this way. These are the crispy, toasted parts that pack the most flavor. And I was adding some vinegar and hot sauce as well. In this recipe, the corned beef tasted like each individual strand of beef was toasted, made crispy, and packed with more umami. And that flavor made me stretch. This piece has toasted beef fat and meat. And as I was eating this with some vinegar and more hot sauce, I definitely am moving to the dry side of the corned beef whenever I'm cooking this again. And this was a great meal indeed. And I'm definitely gonna be cooking more of this dry version of corned beef. Thank you for watching this video, and I really do hope that you enjoy it, and thank you for your continued support. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. See you later in the next video, guys. Take care.